With the dreaded international break well underway, it only makes sense to stay on that topic. Every time the international fixtures come around, there's always players who end up not being called up to their respective national teams despite playing well for their clubs. Most recently, James Ward-Prowse was not picked for England despite being brilliant for West Ham this season, scoring 12 goals and getting 5 assists in 11 games. However, at least he's played for England, and that too 11 times. But there are some players who, despite being top players for their clubs, never played for their senior national team. And that's exactly what we'll be taking a look at today. The 7 best players who never played for their countries. But before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. Mikel Arteta. Despite being a graduate of La Masia, Arteta would never play for Barcelona's first team, just like he would never play for the senior Spanish national team. Nevertheless, he had a very solid career which saw him play for the likes of PSG, Rangers and of course Arsenal, which are all one of the biggest teams in their respective countries. He also has a solid trophy cabinet which contains a Scottish League title and 2 FA Cups. Internationally, Arteta represented Spain all the way from the under-16s to the under-21 youth teams, but failed to get a single senior cap. Despite being a very technical player who fitted well into Spain's playing style, he was incredibly unlucky with this competition. His peak was between 2008 and 2012, which coincided with the peaks of some of the greatest midfielders of all time, Iniesta and Xavi. Then Spain also had the likes of Cesc Fabregas, Xabi Alonso and Sergio Busquets all in front of Arteta in the pecking order. In 2010, England even tried to acquire Arteta, but FIFA did not approve of the switch. Number 2. Paulo Di Canio. It's hard to know where to start with Paulo Di Canio. He was a man with extreme talent but also extreme political views. Di Canio first played for Lazio, the team he grew up idolizing, before transferring to Juventus. With Juve, he would win the 1993 UEFA Cup, but did not play as often as he wanted. He then went on to play for several top teams such as Napoli and AC Milan, but his time at West Ham is the most memorable spell of his career. He became a cult hero at West Ham and also one of the best foreign imports the Premier League had ever seen. For Italy though, he never earned a senior cap, though he did play for the Italy B team once in 1989. And in regards to Di Canio's political views, well, I suggest you take a look at his Wikipedia. Number 3. Steve Bruce. The younger generation may only know him as a bank average manager, but Steve Bruce has to be one of the best footballers to have not played international football for his country. He spent a large chunk of his career at Manchester United, making over 400 appearances for the club, winning 3 league titles, 3 FA Cups and a Football League Cup. Despite being a centre-back, he scored over 100 goals in his career, with 19 coming in the 1990/91 season alone. And yet despite all his success, he never got a single cap for the English national team. Just like Di Canio, he only played for the youth team and the B team. And the simple reason why is because Tony Adams and Martin Keown were always preferred to Bruce by the England managers. However, Sir Bobby Robson expressed his regrets in not picking Bruce whilst England manager, once telling the United team at an hotel, "I just want to say sorry to Steve Bruce because I really should have given him an England cap. You were so well worth an England cap, I just want to apologise for not giving you one." Number 4. Sylvain Distin. Sylvain Distin had a long Premier League career spanning 16 years, with most of his time spent at Man City and Everton. At Everton, he established himself as one of the most consistent centre-backs in the league at the time where the Toffees were regularly finishing in the top 7. He retired back in 2016, having made 706 career appearances, but not a single one for the French national team. In fact, he didn't even make any appearances for the French youth teams, having started his playing career all the way down in France's 4th tier. In 2014, Distin humorously announced his international retirement on Twitter, calling his 0 caps for France a wonderful experience. He was however eligible to play for Guadeloupe, a non-FIFA affiliated nation, and despite being approached by them, rejected the chance to do so. Number 5. Gabi. Gabi is an absolute legend for Atletico Madrid, having had 2 stints for the club, first between 2004 and 2007, and then from 2011 to 2018. He made over 400 appearances for the club and was given the name Eterno Captain, meaning Eternal Captain by Atletico fans. His time in Madrid saw him win a La Liga title, a Copa del Rey and 2 Europa Leagues, and he also made the Champions League final twice. This is incredibly impressive considering how good both Barcelona and Real Madrid were during his peak, but still none of that was enough for him to earn a senior cap for Spain. Just like Arteta, He was unlucky to have quality players like Busquets and Javi Martinez in front of him in the defensive midfield positions. Still, in 2014, he should have got a call up to the World Cup squad, as that's the season he starred for a team that won the La Liga and narrowly lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid. Instead, the old boys were favoured and Spain crashed out the group stages. Number 6. Jose Enrique. Former left-back Jose Enrique, who can be seen regularly commenting on various Instagram pages these days, was mostly known for his time at both Newcastle and Liverpool. He made just under 200 Premier League appearances and was a very good left-back during his peak, but was never called up to the senior Spanish national team. He did play a handful of times for the youth teams, but was kept out of the senior team mostly by Jordi Alba, who himself retired from international football back in August. Alba's understudy was mostly Nacho Monreal, who managed to win 22 caps himself. This meant there was never any space for Jose Enrique, and he eventually announced his retirement from football altogether in 2017. Number 7. Paulo Cannavaro. Though not quite as good as his brother Fabio, Paulo Cannavaro also had a pretty good career. He started his career at Napoli, but he only made 2 appearances before joining his brother at Parma, which was one of the best football teams in the world at the time. After 7 years there, he went back to Napoli and captained the team for 7 seasons. Under his captaincy, Napoli won the Coppa Italia in 2012. Cannavaro would later join Sassuolo, where he played his 3 final seasons. Despite having a long career in Serie A, he never played for Italy at a senior level. He played several times for the Italian youth teams and even got a senior call-up against South Africa, but never came off the bench. Unfortunately for Cannavaro, he had the likes of Chiellini, Barzagli, and of course his own brother Fabio in front of him, or else he would have surely had a few call-ups. And that was it for the 7 best players who never played for their country. Have we missed out on any players? Let us know in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.